From the sewers of New York City, an unlikely band of brothers would rise up and take the world by storm, becoming known as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These four turtles have seen many adaptations since their first appearance. However, they have always maintained their core characteristics. Leonardo is the leader in blue and holds the title of Best Turtle. Michelangelo is a grade A party dude. And Donatello, well, he does machines. Raphael punches first and asks questions later. Together, they take on the likes of Shredder and his evil Foot Clan, surviving one fight to the next. But what is it that makes these turtles so popular? Heck, they've even teamed up with the likes of Batman. Now, if that isn't a badge of honor, then I don't know what is. In tonight's episode of Geeking Out About It, that is exactly what we'll be taking a look at. So grab a slice of pizza, because these four radical dudes will have you saying cowabunga by the end of the night. Cowabunga dudes, my name's Sam.
And I'm Jacob Wolf, and welcome to another episode of Geeking Out About It.
This week we're going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, something that took the world by storm, and I really just have a fond appreciation of throughout my childhood. It was something that really motivated me, especially making me make a very embarrassing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie when I was in 6th grade. So that was a thing. There's a little clip probably playing right now. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is something that I've always loved, and many people have always loved, and it's due to its characters and its kind of amazing story.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, how they capture that with the characters is that everyone can relate to one of the characters in one way or another, because in your normal friend clique, right, you're gonna have the smart one, you're gonna have the crazy punch it one, you're gonna have the guy that wants to party, and you're gonna have the smart guy that like knows how to get stuff done. And I think, you know, with Teenage Mutant
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's a name right there. You know, you have that huge dynamic, and I think that's part of what makes it so powerful.
Yeah, there's a really successful thing that they figured out while making the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was that these characteristics were really just amplified in certain characters. So you could find someone within the Ninja Turtles that you could really relate to. So if you're kind of like the person who tackles things with their muscle and with their body, perfectly tuned fight engine, then Raphael is someone that works really well for you, and he's kind of like the darkest of the four turtles, so he's someone that a lot of people could relate to in that kind of fashion. Same thing kind of goes with Michelangelo. He's the party guy. He's the guy who likes to have fun, but he's not exactly the smartest guy in the room, but at least he knows how to have a good time. So you could really have something with that. And with Donatello, he's the smartest guy in the room, so the complete opposite of Mikey, but it's really fun watching the relationship between the two of them as they go. And then, of course, we have my favorite Ninja Turtle, which is Leonardo, and he's just the all-rounder best, in my opinion, because he's the best fighter, he's the strongest, he's the leader, and you know, he's a great person. They really showcase him off throughout the series because Leonardo has to step up to a different level because he has a lot on his shoulders that it just really isn't on his brothers, you know?
Right, and you mentioned darkness, and we were talking about this earlier. The original comic, before it got turned into the iconic TMNT we know now, was actually extremely dark, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned that they had actually killed some people in the original comic that was written.
In 1984, when the original comic was kind of created, the Ninja Turtles looked completely different than from how we know them now. When the cartoon, the OG cartoon in 1987 came out, though, it was really that made for kids, you know? Everything in it was just showing the fact that, like, this is like a kid show. The art style is very, like, similar, because everything in the time kind of looked kind of the same. Like, it looks the same as, like, Transformers, you know? The way that you look at the lines and how everything is very much the same way. And that really amplified the Ninja Turtles back onto another level, and playing on those characteristics that we were talking about made them far more likable than in their darker origins.
Right, and I think it's that iconic 2D animation that really, like you were talking about Power Rangers and Transformers, it really gives that, you know, that power to them. And it's timeless, really, because you can still go back and watch those episodes, and they're still, you know, they still look pretty good. They're a shell of a time. Yeah, but I mean, they didn't forego all the darkness though. There are still dark themes that come up in the shows. In fact, because there are quite a few of them.
There have been a lot of different Ninja Turtle series that have gone around. Personally, my favorite is the one that started in 2003. It has the most variation, in my opinion, of like the cool factor of the Ninja Turtles. It really showcases the fact that they have a band of brothers about them, and so it's really interesting to watch that one. And I watched all of it. It was the one that inspired me to make my terrible fan film, and you know, I found myself, that's really where I fell in love with Leonardo the most, because he was just such an amazing character. And his episode where he gets to go out by himself and fight on the rooftops, oh man, that is my favorite episode of all time in the Ninja Turtles. But there have been a lot more that have happened since then. There's been a lot of movies with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of content out there. I mean, the Ninja Turtles have done better in animation than they have in the live action field because of that disgraceful movie made by Michael Bay. Rest in peace, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You were ruined. But, you know, we can look past that for the sake of the Turtles, you know?
Right. Well, and I think some of that is because of the characters. They're for turtles. Teenage Turtles, right? And it's like, how do you make that live action? Like, part of the beauty of that is it being animated and that suspension of disbelief, where you're like, I know this isn't really possible, but I love it and it's cool.
Here's the thing, though, is that while Michael Bay's live action adaptation is absolutely terrible, we do have some beautiful live action material from a little bit earlier than that. With the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, they made a couple of them, and one of them we had a fantastic dance scene with Vanilla Ice singing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go."
True.
Yeah, and it is a fantastic scene. I love those movies. Because what they stuck to, instead of what Michael Bay did, was he made them like behemoths, and they're like, oh yeah, we're really cool.
They're
and
teenagers.
Like, no. They did it wrong, because in the OG live action, they just made them a bunch of goofballs, and that really worked for the Ninja Turtles. Because we don't need the Ninja Turtles to be super hardcore all the time. We need them to have a little bit of fun in there, and that's what was really captured in the original stuff.
Right, and I think that's what makes kids, like, be able to look up to them and love them.
Exactly.
Is making them connect with their audience. Because, you know, if you have these huge behemoth characters, it's kind of hard to, like, connect with them and, like, feel that, right? Because we're not huge behemoths. We're mere humans.
Yeah, exactly. And the Ninja Turtles are actually supposed to be smaller than humans, right? Because they're not, you know, I don't know why they were like, I don't want to talk about Michael Bay anymore, though. We're moving on from that.
Moving away from that.
It hurts me.
I so did not understand the ending of Lost!
Now, the last thing that I want to talk about here is that the status of Ninja Turtles has really been put up there to a point where a lot of people know who the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are, and they've gotten to the point where they have been able to team up with some very iconic characters, such as Batman, which I kind of showcased off in the beginning of the episode. Once you reach Batman status, you know you've made it as like a comic. If you ever team up with Batman or interact with Batman, one of the most popular superheroes of all time, then you've made it in the world, you know? So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reaching that stance where they can talk with Batman and interact with Batman and fight alongside Batman against like Ra's al Ghul and fight against Shredder and their classic kind of stuff, that's how you know that you've made it as a series.
Right, and even for me personally, I didn't watch much TV growing up, and so a lot of this cool stuff that I get to enjoy as an adult. But even as a kid, like, even though I didn't really have much TV in my life, or comics really, I still knew who the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles were. I mean, Ninja Turtles were.
You can say words.
Yeah, I can speak English great. I can say words. But like, besides the point, I still knew who they were. I still had action figures, and I still like was able to have conversations with people about them, and I still saw them on TVs and Destin's office and stuff like that. Like, they're everywhere, and I think that kind of shows to their impact. Like, you don't have to be a diehard fan to know who they were and to have experienced part of their show, right?
Alright, well, I think that about wraps things up when we're talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Have a great day, everyone, and give me a high 3.
Cowabunga!